What's up, guys? Your boy, 22K13. Gonna talk about 10 things WWE needs to stop doing right now. This comes from WhatCulture.com. Credit where credit is due. Even the most jaded of fans must have enjoyed a few things WWE has presented in 2015. The Undertaker has wrestled more than he has since 2010, and the company are at least trying to push new stars into the spotlight. The likes of Roman Reigns, Bray Wyatt, Seth Rollins, and Kevin Owens have all been featured heavily. In addition to those relatively fresh names, the men and women on NXT have been doing a grand job. WWE seems content with their developmental system, which is reaping great praise from all corners of the wrestling kingdom. Speaking of women, the female revolution on the main roster is paying dividends, and fans are being treated to some of the best Divas matches in a long time. Unfortunately, despite those plus points, there are still negatives. These niggling points are really one the promotion should have sorted out by now, and some were bad decisions to begin with. That's what the article is all about, highlighting those things that WWE really needs to stop doing and fast. Yes, there's a lot to be happy about, but these issues are preventing WWE from really being great. Fans have long complained about the fact that Monday Night Raw is too long, but these points are right up there alongside that as a major bone of contention. Number 10. Expecting fans to get excited over familiar returns. The lack of crowd noise when Kane made his return as Night of Champions was disconcerting. Quite clearly, WWE was hoping people would be excited to see the big rig machine back under the mask, but the whole angle screamed of lazy booking. After all, how many times have fans witnessed Kane flip between having the mask and not over the past few years? Every single time creators revert back to this strategy, it's going to play before diminishing returns. That's a fact of life. You can't expect people to be as shocked as they were the first time if you repeatedly keep doing the same thing. The problem isn't necessarily Kane. Glenn Jacobs still has a place on the roster, but his character is so unbelievably convoluted at this point. This is something WWE really needs to quit using as a plot device. Kane is a long-running character for a reason, but the company seemingly can't make their mind up whether they want him to be a destructive monster or a well-spoken, functional mid-card attraction. Number 9. Triumph Delirium over WCW Victory. Vince McMahon purchased World Championship Wrestling way back in March 2001. By September 2015, it means that a major moment in wrestling history occurred almost 15 years ago. Even so, World Wrestling Entertainment still has a chip on their shoulder when it comes to WCW, and it shows any single time Sting is on screen now. The man was a cornerstone of WCW, that's true, but he's now a WWE employee. Therefore, it makes zero sense when Triple H is claiming he's going to bury the last star WCW has to offer. That promotion is dead. WWE owns the rudiments and now finally have one of their most recognizable names under contract. This in-thing feud in WWE has little to do with WCW at this point. WWE really needs to get over the whole Monday Night War thing. Yes, WCW ran them close and actually dominated them for a while, but Vince McMahon's organization won when he bought his competition. That day should have marked a shift in perception from WWE toward WCW, but it didn't, and the group still suffered from the same triumphant paranoia as before. Number 8. John Cena performing the Springboard Stunner. Initially, Stone Cold Steve Austin wasn't fazed when John Cena started using a variation of his Stone Cold Stunner on WWE programming. The announcer gushed when Cena started using a springboard version of the move, spewing hyperbole about how the man was ever evolving and expanding his moveset. Meanwhile, Austin started to sour on the idea. The move is still one Cena busts out from time to time, but it looks like one of the most forced sequences currently happening during WWE matches. John Cena is an athletic guy, but there's something about the execution of the move that comes across as uncoordinated. It doesn't look realistic, and therein lies the main problem with it. When Steve Austin performed the stunner, it had a quick-fire satisfaction to it that resonated with fans. It looked feasible where Cena's variation looked fairly ludicrous. Going further, when John Cena performed the move, it looked like a stilted animation from one of the last generation WWE video games. It's doing nothing for him and should be aborted from his repertoire. Number 7. Insane amount of camera cut. Kevin Dunn is very hands-on in his role as WWE executive producer of television production. Usually situated in front of a wall of different monitors, one of Dunn's jobs is to coordinate camera changes on the Juggernaut weekly programming. That must require a lot of concentration, but Dunn's method has been debated by wrestling fans for years. Basically, it all boils down to the fact that Mr. Dunn enjoys shifting camera angles very frequently. So often are these angle switches in WWE that it's rare to see a move executed to completion without one. The idea is simple. Changing camera at just the right moment will adequately mask any fumble or poor bump by the wrestler and give the illusion of more impact. Sadly, while the theory is strong, it doesn't quite pan out that way. Many fans are left frustrated by the pace of production, which doesn't give move room to breathe at all. Instead of heightening the excitement and drama, the camera changes can be quite jarring. Compare WWE in 2015 to the WWF in 2000, and the advancement in numbers of switches of angle is insane. Number 6. Telegraphing major matches before pay-per-view. This entry will be familiar to anyone who has followed WWE programming over the years. In short, it's not uncommon to see the person who will lose on the upcoming pay-per-view dominate their opponent on the show prior to it happening. The go-home show has over the years been festooned by these moments. On one level, they're understandable booking decisions. The creative team wished to throw fans off the scent and leave things open for what may happen on the pay-per-view. After all, what's the point in having the champion rule over his challenger mere days before that big title defense? Unfortunately, it directly tells people exactly what's going to happen on the pay-per-view, more often than not. Right before Money in the Bank, Dean Ambrose watched as Seth Rollins fought J&J Security. At the end of the bout, Ambrose swept in and nailed Rollins with Dirty Deed before lording over him with the WWE title. At the pay-per-view, Rollins defeated Ambrose to defend the belt, giving an excellent example of this predictable booking flaws. Number 5. Announcer making jokes during serious situations. It's been said that Michael Cole has one of the toughest jobs in modern-day pro wrestling. As the main anchor of Monday Night Raw and WWE pay-per-view, Cole has to tie everything together. Not only does he have to reference things back to what happened in the ring, the guy also has to provide a lot of context, all the while shielding advertising and social media. Being a wrestling announcer isn't easy, but that's no excuse for the lighthearted banter that often undermines serious storylines. There are numerous examples of Cole, Xavier, and Jerry the King Lawler giggling away to themselves while a match is happening inside the ring. A lot of the time, this distracts mightily from the heated nature of the in-ring struggle, which has to stop. The wrestler can work as hard as they like, but if the commentators don't seem interested, why should the fans watching? It shouldn't be a problem for WWE announcers to have fun, but they need to pick their moment much better. The fact they regularly laughing about dramatic stories such as the ongoing saga involving Rusev, Summer Rae, Dolph Ziggler, and Lana is bizarre. Number 4. Wrestlers inexplicably see ropes as barriers. Speaking of that particular angle, is used to perfectly illustrate this point. During a recent edition of Monday Night Raw, Dolph Ziggler chased Rusev from the ring. From there, both men fired verbal bombs at one another, but never made physical contact again on the broadcast. Stretching over the rope, Ziggler repeated that it wouldn't be long until he got his hand on the big Bulgarian. It would have been a lot shorter had he refrained from acting as though the ring rope was some magical barrier preventing him from getting to his rival. This is admittedly not something WWE are solely a fault of, but it makes little logical sense. Fans see it all the time, and it inevitably leads to heels getting cornered by babyfaces, or vice versa, out in the arena. What is it about those ropes that make it so impossible to get through? In a realistic scenario, Dolph Ziggler and Rusev would have been so furious at one another that they burst in or out of the ring at will, if only to hammer their heated foes. Number 3. Seth Rollins using the pedigree. Simply put, if Seth Rollins is the man in WWE today, why doesn't he have his own finishing move? It's not difficult to see why the company felt giving him Triple H pedigree would be a through move, but it isn't helping Rollins at all. When Triple H performed the finisher, it looked impactful, but Seth doesn't seem to be comfortable using it. Even more tragically, the curve stomp Rollins previously used was utterly perfect for him. Fans react in a major way to the finisher because it was original and looked devastating. WWE management deemed the move too visceral and dangerous, this stripping it from the man's arsenal. Right then, he needed something else fresh, not a legend-packing hold. The whole thing just come across as a phony version of what the game used to do. It's similar to when Ric Flair endorsed The Miz using his trademark figure 4 leg lock. Fans had a hard time buying into it. The move is so synonymous with somebody else that it just doesn't look right. WWE should endeavor to create a brand new finishing move for Rollins as soon as possible. Number 2. The fact that wins and losses never matter. Sheamus is the current holder of WWE Money in the Bank briefcase. The contract seemingly contained within the holder enabled him to cash in for a WWE World Heavyweight Championship match at any time of his choosing. Logic dictates then that the Irishman should be protected, making him look like a force to be reckoned with, one who also had a golden ticket to the main title. It is clearly a thought process WWE don't subscribe to. However, could it be explained why Sheamus had been staring at the light often since winning the briefcase? Putting things plainly, wins and losses should matter in professional wrestling. It's all about perception. If Sheamus doesn't win a match until he inevitably cashes in the Money in the Bank, it hampers his title reign straight away. The problem extends beyond the Money in the Bank. WWE continues to provide Power 25 ranking on their official website, but the FARC rating system is utterly useless now. At first, it was supposed to enable fans to see that match results matter, but the companies themselves continue to prove that they don't. And number 1. Wrestlers visibly talking during matches. Without doubt, this is one of the biggest problems many fans have with modern day WWE. Ironically, it's also a major talking point. Take Night of Champions for example. Ryback content shouted during the Intercontinental title bout against Kevin Owens was unacceptable. Like a pantomime villain, the big guy raised his hand to his mouth to shield his words. Sadly, all he achieved was drawing attention to the fact he was discussing spots with Owens. Why is this still happening in the biggest wrestling company around? Surely everyone from Ryback to main official looked back at the match and realized it looked very amateurish. Ryback isn't the only proponent of this. John Cena does it too. Cena's methods are a little different. Sometimes the franchise of WWE doesn't even try to mask what he's doing. He loudly shouts sequences for all to hear. If the TV cameras are picking up on this, fans around ringside must also be able to hear it. WWE should definitely take steps to elevate this because it's borderline spoils the suspension of disbelief. Well, that is, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys on the next one. Peace.